Yeah, I like it, but
That I'm asking now, you've actually given me a good opportunity to ask now. Since like Old Town Road, I think was the song that started it.
Yeah,
I hear rappers say the word boobies a lot in their songs. Like they'll say like I'm feeling up on her boobies or something like that, and it really kind of takes me out of it because I'm like, you're 38, you know?
Yeah, I don't know, yeah, because like rap is slang poetry. I remember boobies. Like the wristbands from middle school. Like
That's
silly
what they were
bands.
called?
I love boobies. You guys, I don't know, like
oh,
we're similar
right.
ages.
Yeah, no, right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know. I
do
never heard them
remember
called
now.
boobies.
That's what it said. It said I heart boobies,
Right.
like in big letters.
Yeah.
Oh, the I Heart
Right.
Boobies, yeah, for breast
Yes,
cancer.
I remember
yes.
that.
Yeah, the breast
Yeah.
cancer ones. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So as a kid, you could maybe get away with, if you're like a 13-year-old kid,
Yeah.
you might be able to slide by with, it says boobies.
Yeah,
I didn't know that was like.
It's like half making fun of. It's like half referencing it. I mean, whenever anything is popular in rap, like that's like the new fertile ground of what we're gonna sort of rap about. Like if you just reference Old Town, your producer in the room, he's like, okay, I know you're like really cool or a cool guy, and like you don't say this word, but like if you put this word in here, the kids will love it. Like that kind of thing.
And the tragic thing about Old Town Road, of course, was that Lil Nas X, he had the boobies were there, but he didn't want the boobies, and he had to search within himself and find that out. We have a rapper on the show today, ZenTheRapper, our special guest, who you just heard explaining why the use of boobies in rap song. You guys have been asking for my rap opinions for a long time. The audience, people have been looking forward. What does this guy think about hip hop? I'm just gonna say it. Once you've said pussy, I think you've leapfrogged boobies.
Pussy is definitely I think pussy's over booby. You know what I like? I like the long form of pussy. It's like pusillanimous. It's kind of like miscellaneous. I've heard rappers use that, and that's on my list.
I like that.
That's on my list.
That's good.
No, I do like that. Yeah, that's smooth.
That's interesting. Can you use it in a sentence?
I can pretend to. I think it literally just means pussy.
Okay. There you go. That's a sentence. Understood the assignment.
But our guest is not the only man with a hip-hop connection here today. Of course, I am joined by my consistent co-host, Suge Knight's anger management counselor, Jason Strong.
Yep. How do you do?
Pretty good. How's it going?
Oh, not too bad. Business a little slow with the anger management, but I have a feeling it's going to pick up real soon.
That's surprising. I would have thought that was a full-time job, man.
I know. Maybe he's mellowed out.
Yeah, well, he's got to be like 60 now, right?
Right.
Is that too old?
He has to be.
No, that sounds right.
You think he'd want to be on the show?
I don't know. I don't really hear about him much anymore.
He might be old enough and like semi-retired enough, and maybe if he reached out, he might say something. He's probably sitting somewhere like what do old people do? Probably playing golf,
pickleball.
He is either playing what's the fucking game that they play, shuffleboard, or he's actually in prison. One or the other.
Shuffleboard in prison.
Oh, that would be good.
Started a shuffleboard club. Yeah, that's what happened.
Is there should be an all senior citizen prison gang. I think that would be a lot of fun.
I guess fun for who?
It's like
old
church.
People.
Yeah.
You guys ever been?
Right.
You guys ever been to church lately? No, have you guys ever been to church lately? It's all old people there.
I have not.
I'm Jewish.
Do you go to synagogue ever, or have you been there?
I go to synagogue sometimes. It's a mix, honestly. It's a mix.
That's encouraging.
I would say that you got a lot of pretty young people. You don't have a lot of sane young people. That's the problem. You have a lot of young people who are fucking crazy, and you have a lot of old people who are kind of normal or fucking crazy. You need normal young people in churches, synagogues, maybe mosques. I don't know what the fuck's going on mosques.
You say fucking crazy. You mean like super religious?
Not. I don't just want to say super religious, because I think a person can be super religious in a way that's good or bad.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
Right,
like,
right.
super religious with a lot of the reactionary views that come along with that.
Right.
Yeah. You know what I find it. I'm sort of like a religious heretic. That's what I've been going telling people lately. But because I grew up in the Baptist church for a long time, right? And I went to Catholic school, and now I'm neither. I don't think, or I'm both. And I'm also Buddhist somewhat and Hindu somewhat. You know, so I'm religiously fluid. But what I don't like is religiously shallow people. I don't like people who just you toss Jesus into their vocabulary and like the devil into their vocabulary.
Yeah.
And like just like everything is attributed to Jesus or the devil. Just like, bro.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like you're trying to trick me. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's like it's not working.
Yeah, I went to Catholic school myself.
I have a lot of problems. Oh, sorry. I was saying I have a lot of problems in my life that aren't from a mean ghost. Go on.
No, I went to Catholic school myself, up through high school, but didn't finish it in high school because it sucked. So I went to public school for the last few years. Yeah, I couldn't tell you the last time I've been to church, like even for a wedding or a funeral. It's got to be decades. So
I mean, since you lost the collar.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I'm banned, right?
Yeah.
They don't want me there at all. But different other denominations, even those I've tried out, but I don't know. They just don't have the same sort of costumery that you come to expect from like a Catholic mass.
Yeah. No, I would agree with that. I think things should be, I know it's not great when people are like, oh, this building cost like hundreds of millions of dollars and like you could have fed the poor and like, you should get a cheaper outfit or whatever the fuck. But I don't know. I was a theater kid.
Yeah.
Costumes are very important. I will say that.
Yeah.
Costumeness next to godliness. It's up there. It's up there.
But you know what? We are here today to talk about neither. This is Underworld News Tonight, where we talk about the weird, wacky, and wild news of the week. I already introduced Jason. I already introduced our guest. Who am I? I'm Andrew Michaels, comedian. I host this show and edit it, usually poorly.
I think minus.
Yeah. So what we do is we talk about the weirdest and wackiest and wildest headlines, like I said. Jason.
Yeah.
I have a question to start you off with.
Please.
And Zen, actually. I should probably ask our guest, too. Either of you sports fans?
Yeah. I mean, it depends on the
Zen,
sport. I don't
nod
really
to answer it because it's an auditory medium.
Well, I'm defensive because it seems like a trap question because I was like, sports. I like bouncing balls and putting them in baskets.
Sure.
Some sports I don't like.
Is there a name for that?
It's funny because I was trying to describe multiple sports and I just described basketball. As if I were an alien.
Right.
I like the sport where you put on the gloves and the sport where you punch the guy.
Right. Baseball, I think.
Basketball, football, and then tennis.
Yeah.
Very good at tennis.
Yeah.
As a player, as a spectator as well, or just you just athletic, you don't really watch them?
I like watching them.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little hard of a sell when I'm with the homies to put tennis on TV, right? So
yeah.
But if you go to a dentist's office or a lot of doctors' office, tennis matches on waiting rooms is pretty popular. So
So do you just hang out in dentist offices to have people to watch tennis with?
Right.
Sometimes I'll just eat candy, just knowing what's coming. just preparing. The U.S. Grand Slam is coming up or something. I'm getting ready.
Yeah.
Jason, you have any sporting interests you would like to share?
Yeah, I don't really follow sports, but I do enjoy watching them on occasion. I like going to minor league sports, because I feel like they try really hard. You know, if you go to like a minor league baseball game, they're charging you $10 to get in. It's like $1 for a beer and a hot dog, and you know they do like goofy shit in between the innings and have little contests, and it's just
those
much
games
more
can be
of a
crazy
spectacle.
too. Like those games can get like when my wife and I started dating, we went to a Worcester Bravehearts game. And it went to like the 12th inning, and like before it finally, I don't think that team exists anymore, but it was a cool game. You guys know I enjoy my martial arts, although I'm quite bad at them. And then I occasionally follow my Mets and my Devils and my Giants. And of course, this year it is the Olympics, Paris, 2024. Right. You guys gonna watch?
Probably. I mean, at least some of it. It's hard to miss it.
I've missed the Olympics before. I missed the last one. I don't think I watched any events in the last Olympics.
Yeah, I was thinking that same thing. Like, I don't plan to watch it, so I may not. Probably not. What sports are in this one? Is it the Summer Olympics, the spring?
Yeah, it's the Summer Olympics.
Yeah.
So all the normal summer sports. I don't know what France is adding because every country gets to add a couple sports, I think. So I don't know what they're gonna add. Yeah, I wonder if they take our suggestions.
Like, what are our suggestions? Like us as individuals, or us as a nation?
Us as a podcast.
Oh, I see.
Like, how much sway do you think we have?
Yeah, what do you think, Sam?
If it's good enough. Okay, so I got a baguette fencing.
Ooh, okay. That's good.
That's actually a lot. That actually
cultural.
Does sound pretty good.
It's kind of like it's skillful because it's not a very stiff thing. You gotta take some finagling. And then also, if you're hungry, it's an extra challenge. You can't eat it.
Right.
It's like strict rules against eating the baguette.
Right. Right.
Well, you have to try to eat your opponent's baguette. Yeah. And they try to eat your baguette.
Oh,
that's how you win.
Oh, that's even better. Yeah, because those Olympic athletes haven't had a carb in like 6 years. So you wave in a
well, other than Michael Phelps back in the day. But anyway, we're here to talk about something even better than the Olympics, because I think the correct answer to that was not yes, we will watch, and the correct answer is lame-o, no. I wish that they were.
Yeah, not nearly enough injuries.
Not nearly enough injuries. Too ethical. Right. Too many events. And too inspiring. This is from ABC News, but not our ABC News, the Australian Broadcasting Corporation.aw. So the enhanced games are proposed by Australian lawyer and entrepreneur Aaron D'Souza and a group of billionaires, including Peter Thiel. If you guys don't know who Peter Thiel is, he is a Silicon Valley guy. He was he was somebody on the early PayPal days, associated with Musk, early Trump guy. Of that,
his name has sort of like an evil ring to it.
Right.
Yeah. Of the Silicon Valley billionaires, he's the one who acts the most like a James Bond villain. One of his big things in the last few years has literally been research into injecting himself and other older people with the blood of young people for a rejuvenation therapy. So a normal guy all around. And Aaron D'Souza and Peter Thiel are starting the enhanced games, which the plan is, according to this article, to allow athletes to take performance-enhancing drugs in a bid to let them reach their full potential. So if you guys imagine flagrant steroid use at the Olympics.
Right.
Sort of like X-Men, where it's like the X Games, a new twist on the X Games. We're trying to make X.
Well, the X Games were just like snowboarding and skateboarding and shit, right?
Well, I was saying it was just like if we're it's like the X-Men plus the Olympics.
Oh, okay.
So obviously I'm steroids to me are like superpowers. So I'm thinking of people flying around and lasers.
Kids, you heard it here first, kids. Steroids are superpowers. Yep. ZenTheRapper, you can quote him on it.
Let's go to the X Games, yeah.
What does it say? Do you know what kind of events are in?
Yes, so the events that are going to be included.
The enhanced games?
The enhanced games, yes.
Enhanced games.
The events that are going to be included are track and field, swimming and diving, combat sports,
of course,
weightlifting, and gymnastics. For combat sports, they haven't clarified which ones.
Those all sort of track, except maybe diving. Do you think, like, what would enhance your diving?
I would say any Olympic.
Like
I guess no Olympic swimmers are fucking listening to us, but if you are a swimmer, definitely let us know, like a legit swimmer.
Well, swimming,
maybe Zen is. I don't know. Zen's probably the most athletic out of any of us, based on the fact that he listed multiple sports to play.
Right.
Wait, yeah, I'll say. I've heard the words lung capacity before, so I don't know what that.
Yeah.
Swimmers can like.
In a doctor's office or outside of one?
I can't remember.
Was there tennis
I would
on?
imagine, though, that with diving, I would imagine that there's a lot with both leg strength and core strength. Like, if you do, like, because being able to hold your form, like, get up, hold your form all the way down, like, because I was thinking that too, but I bet there's a lot there. But again, I do not know enough about diving to say. No. I don't know which combat sports are going to be in it, but, you know, I know in most of the, like, martial arts tournament world, when you get into the ones that are more, you know, competitive, it is an issue.
And where's this? Is this going to be held, like, on a vacant cargo ship, you know, out in international waters? Like, what country would host something like this?
I do not know. They haven't said yet. They said they're going to be pushing it in 2024 in Paris. Basically, the argument that's being made, and I do find it, like, look, I think this is a terrible idea. But I find this argument interesting, is that, like, you know, steroids have been a flagrant issue at the Olympics for a really long time, right? Like, a huge percentage of Olympic athletes are doing it. So the argument is, like, should you open it up? The counter argument is that encouraging people to do steroids in a way, you know, not discouraging people to do steroids, and if they are doing steroids, they have to do them in a way that they're not going to get caught, is very different than just do as many steroids as you want just to be good this year. Right. Health-wise.
Right. And is it just limited to steroids? Like, it said performance enhancing. Are they taking, like, amphetamines right before the race?
I don't think they've said that. I imagine they would be allowed. I don't think they've said anything about it. I mean, this thing is fucking insane. So I'm going to read on in the... in the article itself. So they did promise there would be a team of medical experts to supervise the athletes. And there is one big name signing, which is James Magnuson, who is an Australian Olympic 100-meter freestyle silver medalist. What Magnuson actually said is that the reason he wants to join the enhanced games seems to have very little to do with the doping side of it, and has a lot more to do with the fact that he wants to get paid. They're offering $1 million cash prize for that. In the Olympics, you do not get paid beyond sponsorship. So I think that that's kind of a more compelling case.
I think it makes it worse in a lot of ways, but...
It makes it worse from, like, our society standpoint. Like, like we don't.
It makes it worse that those two things are tied together, right? That's bad. Right. Yeah. And I guess it's bad that, like, if you have large cash prizes for winning events, you invite consequences for Olympic athletes that don't win events at home in countries where that cash prize means more. Like, so I guess those are the things that are bad. But, like, if you just have the, like, how should athletes be paid for the Olympics? I think that's, like, probably a more complicated thing.
Yes.
Now I'm going to give you a direct quote from the Enhanced Games website, and I have a few quotes from them because they're fucking insane.
All right.
How would you announce that you're allowing steroids?
I don't know. It sounds like a lot of fun. So I have ethical concerns about what's going on, but, like, as a fan, I'm just like, this sounds fun. So I would make it really, like, hoppy, like, hey, don't you love sports but hate when everyone's, like, enforcing rules and regulations? Just do sports and all the fun and none of the
Don't you wish
boring.
That more of these guys died at 42?
Don't you want more out of the people? Don't you want your athletes to be less people and more robotic, more machines? Where you do this, guys.
You know what's the one thing real sports can take from professional wrestling? The athlete lifespans. But no, this is what they set up.
You know how difficult sports is on the athlete's body? Now imagine making it worse.
This is what a quote from the website. After years of oppression, we are seeing a pushback against the anti-science dogma purported by the incumbent sporting leagues. Years of oppression.
Wow, I was not expecting that.
Right. That is crazy. That's awesome.
They're really
right.
Yeah.
Right.
So they
they're
use the
making
words.
It's
sorry,
sort of ideological.
It's they're
it's not like,
oppressed.
hey, this is more fun. It's like, no, this is something. Yeah, they have an agenda.
Yeah. So they keep using the word science a lot in their PR. I'm going to read a few more tweets later because they're fucking insane. But I just want to read some pushback from Jamie Crane, who's the CEO of Sports Medicine Australia, against the use of science, where he said, "Science is the process of experimenting and observing and recording results and adjusting accordingly to get a certain outcome or just to understand a topic. And in this context, that means they're going to be giving otherwise fit people experimental substances to see what the outcomes is in the hope that it might make them faster or stronger. Is that good science? If it produces a fast athlete who ends up with medical complications down the line, you would argue no, it's not good science." So, I mean, this is kind of what we're getting at. Like, it is a real issue. You know, I mean, you could look at, like, what... Steroids do not end with you being very strong all of the time, and, you know, if you're just taking as many as you can to do as well as you can for one event, you're going to end up with a super enlarged heart and fucking die.
Right.
So, you know, there's more in the article going into the finer details of this, but I just want to read some of the fucking insane tweets. I got two of them from the Enhanced Games. The first, anyone will be eligible to compete in the Enhanced Games, regardless of whether they are Olympians or amateur athletes or even regular gym goers. Enhanced.
The gym at least one time this year, I promise.
Making everyday athletes superheroes. Let's do it. We're getting in.
Yeah.
All right, so we all have to choose an event then.
What it reads like, yes, we need to choose an event, but what it also reads like is we need some fodder.
Well, let's
right. Come on, regular Joes. Compete against me. Void it out.
All right, so here's the list of events again. We've got track and field, swimming and diving, combat sports, weightlifting, and gymnastics. What are you two choosing? I'll go last.
I think I'm gonna go for the shadiest option. You always hear about like shady people in gymnastics, right? Like low moral kind of profession of athlete. If you're a gymnast in the
when do you hear about unethical gymnasts?
Oh, they're out there. But if any
gymnasts are far more likely to be the victim of a crime.
Well, okay, that's what I'm talking about. So the trainers in gymnastics are always like shitty people. So if you're a gymnast out there, you know what I'm talking about, right? So I'm looking for like a real Jekyll and Hyde type of situation. Like I want to really. I know you said we could use steroids, but let's try to make it so that they like reduce it next year. Like let's really
kind of
push
turn
the envelope.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
You need to. So your answer is join gymnastics and become a cautionary tale.
I want to make like ESPN 30 for 30. You know,
That's pretty noble. I was just gonna say weightlifting because it seems like the best fit, and I'm already like short and squat, so I feel like being roided out in that way can only help me.
All right, I'm going with swimming.
Yeah.
And here's why. It's I'm gonna lose either way, right? No matter any of these, I'm gonna lose because this whole you don't need to be a regular gym goer is actually fucking insane on its face, right? That's not how steroids work.
Right, especially for gymnastics.
Like, yes, if you for those of you who never took middle school health class, if you take steroids and don't work out, you will gain muscle, but you're gonna gain a lot more fat, so don't do that. This is also explained, I think, in like a fucking South Park episode. Like, so I'm doing the swimming though because I'm just gonna I'm gonna lose, but I just get to chill in the pool for a bit with a terrible time. I get like a 30-minute 100-meter disgrace America, whatever. I already disgrace America every week on this show.
Now, what sport as a spectator would you like to see added to that list for the Enhanced Games?
Oh, gotta be baseball. It has to be. Because number one, baseball being removed from the Olympics was a fucking travesty. You're actually getting me on a rant. Baseball being removed from the Olympics was a fucking travesty. This whole idea that this is just an American game. Japan is far better at it than us at this point. The Latin American countries are far better at it than us at this point. It is one of the most engaging sports to watch once you know how to watch it. It should never have been removed from the game. They should, if anything, add women's baseball instead of kind of, desegregated.
Mm-hmm. But to watch enhanced, but can't you just watch baseball from like the early 2000s?
Yes, I can watch old sports.
Get to see enhanced baseball.
But the whole reason, I think the whole appeal of this, like when people talk about like missing steroids in sports, they talk about baseball specifically, right?
Right.
No, like because you can't like a football player being roided out, they're gonna do better, but it's not like dramatic on screen. So that would be my pick to see added to the list. I don't know. What do you think?
I love baseball. Baseball is dope because, like, then I could call the person I used to argue with, like, in 5th grade about steroids and, like, if they're good or bad for the game, we can revamp those conversations, those arguments.
What's your side?
It started with good. Well, I was always like, it'd be awesome. All right, this was me. I was always like, wouldn't it be awesome if we just gave them as many steroids and see how, like, for 1 year and to see how many can Barry Bonds hit 1,000 home runs in a year? Like,
right.
Mm-hmm. So yeah.
I feel like Bonds was on as many steroids as he could take, right? Because his head quadrupled in size.
Right.
Like,
that's what I'm
saying.
Bonds
would die if he took any more steroids. I think that, like...
I feel like we've lived that.
Yeah.
So you see where I want to experiment. See, I'm experimenting with the limits here. I want to see, like, will this arm pop? Like...
Right.
What happens if we give Barry Bonds more steroids? Oh, it's just cardiac arrest.
Right.
Shit. just immediately like.
Yep.
Next one. What happens if we give Sammy Sosa more steroids?
Right.
All right, so Jason, what's your pick?
That's 2 immediate heart attacks. Okay.
My sport would be badminton for similar reasons. Just kind of see.
Badminton.
Let's see what happens.
You know what? What about sheep shearing?
Let's see what people can handle. Sheep shearing, I do not believe that's an Olympic sport.
It's been argued.
Unfortunately.
There is a movement. Join it to make sheep shearing an Olympic sport, but it keeps getting rejected. Here's another tweet from the Enhanced Games. Now, Zen, you're the outsider of this show, so pretend that you're my publicist and like you've read my tweet where I'm trying to sound normal in like a reputable sporting organization, and you can let me know where I fucked up. I'm gonna read you the tweet now.
Okay.
We are as gods, and might as well get good at it. We are at the threshold of controlling our destiny. Do you have the courage to shape your body in your image? #science is real.
I'm just gonna send you like this article about eugenics. I'm gonna send you this. I want you to Google the word Nazi and just press enter and then talk to me in 5 minutes. I think we're
right.
Other than that, perfect.
Right.
And we love it.
Yeah.
So keep the same energy, just change everything in all of those single words.
Exactly. You know,
anyway,
the more of these tweets you read, though, they're kind of selling me on it just because, like, the merchandise is going to be incredible.
All right.
The video game tie-ins.
Listen, it's going to be an extremely unethical event that, like, I will probably watch.
Yeah.
I guess the counter argument to this though is that like you're not necessarily going to get the top level athletes to do it all the time.
No,
because they're going to lose the ability to compete the rest of the time. So it's like there's a theoretical cash prize. You're asking yourself to risk health, all of these sponsorships, like, you know, as opposed to whatever under the radar shit you were doing with the Olympics. But anyway, catch us, the 3 of us, in the Enhanced Games, and whenever the fuck they legalize this, wherever the fuck they legalize it.
Yeah, a abandoned oil derrick in the middle.
I'm going to say Burkina Faso.
Burkina Faso, that's a good one. The moon. Maybe that's
That'd be fun.
what Elon's fucking with. Yeah.
Like a total drama island type thing, like an island that's actually a country, but no one knows what it is.
Right.
And we pretend like it's like it's abandoned, right?
Right. I like how you said we pretend like it's abandoned.
Yeah, we're holding.
I guess by definition, you're never in an abandoned.
Specifically described European history.
Yeah.
Look how awesome this is. No one was even here. What wasn't even here.
Oh man. All right. Jason, you've got some stories for us.
Yeah, this comes to us from Idaho News, KTVB, Channel 7.
Oh, boy.
Bill titled Cannibalism introduced into Idaho legislature.
Great.
Idaho Rep. Heather
That's
Scott.
good.
Maybe. Idaho Rep. Heather Scott introduced a bill that would add text to Idaho's established cannibalism law.
All right.
The Ms. Scott introduced the bill, House Bill 522, again titled just cannibalism, aims to expand the definition of cannibalism to include the provision of human flesh or blood to others, specifically, quote, providing flesh or blood to another human being without their knowledge or consent, end quote. So,
if I gave you a burger and put like my toe in it, that's illegal now.
Well, it would be under this law, yes.
Okay, so unrelated note, you know the Des Moines podcasting brunch that I talked to you about? Yeah. I think we should rain check.
Maybe we should hold off on that.
This seems like somebody in Congress was just kind of bored, and they had just watched Always Sunny, and they saw the cannibalism episode, and they were like, let's shake it up a little bit.
You're as the story continues, you're a lot closer than you realized. Anyway, Idaho currently is the only state that has a specifically outlaws cannibalism. They did so in the 80s during the Satanic Panic, which we talked about in one of our early episodes.
So we all remember the 70s in Iowa.
Right.
I certainly do.
The bill was passed in 1990, titled Mayhem. So Mayhem outlawed cannibalism in Idaho.
Oh, wait, what's the acronym? Because there's always an acronym, right?
Oh, it doesn't say. It just says Mayhem.
Man.
I don't know. Boy. Man.
That's a great name for... We need to get more laws like that. Like, if we start passing laws with names like Mayhem, Dynamite...
Chaos.
Yeah, like, Congress should pass the next fucking, like, Secretary of the Interior Appropriation Bill and call it Triple Explosion.
Yeah. They just hire you to name the bill. So they do all the boring shit, and they vote for it, and then you're just like, this was going to be called Spider-Man, something like that.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
What a great idea. This actually is, like, because pretty famously, people aren't really engaged in the political process in the United States.
Boring.
And I think
you start doing
kind
this
of a
shit.
Voice. I think the youth.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. Because you get us the middle-aged women, I get us the youth. I think that I could really get them engaged.
I think so too.
Yeah, so start by naming the bills, maybe sexy up Congress a bit.
Yeah. All right. So let's put a pin in that. We'll circle back around.
Exactly.
Anyway, her motivations for introducing the bill, she said she has two. First, she had heard that in 2019, Washington State started doing human composting, which is true, as a way of as a means of your last wishes, as far as what's to be done with your remains.
Can you just kind of, so that's just like, I can have a natural burial in a compost pile, and then, shit's going to grow out of it.
I think the body is processed in some way and then buried, actually in very specific locations. in Washington, it's specifically targeted at like growing where like the logging industry had been, so regrowing like forested places. Oregon and Colorado, it's also legal now too, to do that. But no, I don't think they just like chuck your body into the woods. I think like there is a process that breaks it down.
I do have legally binding last wishes that I'm gonna give on the podcast right now, which is when I die, pose my body like I was crucified out of just a random guy's house and kind of see how it plays out.
Right. What could possibly go wrong?
What you're talking about? I think the dinosaurs did this like millions of years ago. They just started burying each other in the forest. That's how we have gas. So this could be good.
I don't think the dinosaurs can bury each other, because have you seen a T-Rex? Tiny arms.
Well, a T-Rex, sure, but you see some of the other ones. The other ones can get some digging done.
Yeah, if they got away from the T-Rex.
Well, that's true. Maybe they'd want to bury.
I learned a lot about dinosaurs when I was 7 years old, and my understanding is not developed.
There's new dinosaurs. If you're interested, there's new dinosaurs. They found some new ones. Now,
well, they're not new.
Every year, new dinosaurs, man. I don't know where they're coming from.
Do you think I'm just picturing like a paleontologist in their lab, and they have just like bins of bones, like you do Legos, and they're trying to fit them together different ways.
I'm picturing a paleontologist. All right, maybe it's a little dark. I'm picturing a paleontologist. He's on vacation, finds a new species of lizard, undiscovered. Looks to his left, looks to his right. Bam! New discovery.
Yeah, so anyway, her first concern, because she was incorrectly envisioning, her quote, demonstrating her misunderstanding of what was happening. I wanted to address this because what I didn't want to see was bags of compost with human bone fragments. So again, when if your last wish is for your body to be composted, you're not gonna like wind up on sale in Home Depot or anything. Like,
what
it's
if
very
that's
specific
part of the
places
last
you
wishes,
can go.
though? So, like, can you add that though?
Oh, I don't know.
Because I think part of the problem. Can I just add as well? By the way,
Please.
It's like,
yeah,
how are you going to arrest me? I'm already dead.
That's true. No, that's a great point.
Were you going to give me the death penalty? Then I'll make you eat me again.
And her Ms. Scott's second reasoning for the bill, she has saw a video on social media that purported to show people being fed a food where the secret ingredient was human flesh. Now, it's revealed that this was a prank show hosted by David Spade called Fameless, which doubtless does not need our plug.
Wait,
but
so David Spade didn't really... I just want to make sure that we're clear here. David Spade, the star of 2001's Joe Dirt, did not really feed a person human flesh. Are we clear? Is that true or untrue?
That is the contention of this publication. That is untrue. I
don't believe that.
Okay, so I just want to call him, just to be fair, just to I want to be fair to both sides. Alleged cannibalism enabler David Spade.
Okay.
Star of 2001's Joe Dirt.
I feel like that kind of fits his brand, though. I think that's like fitting.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I think they should have worked more of that into his character in Emperor's New Groove.
Yeah. I think I want to watch it a second time.
Underrated. Honestly, Emperor's New Groove is one of my favorite Disney movies.
Really? I don't believe I've ever seen it.
I really just got really happy thinking about the colors and that, and like thinking about the animation of it. Like when you said it.
But the bill hasn't been voted on. It's unclear if it's going to pass or not. This seems like kind of putting the cart before the horse, because in the U.S. we sort of have a problem with like she's worried about human remains getting in the food supply, but like, don't we routinely have to recall vegetables because they get like animal effluent on them, and people are getting like E. coli from eating spinach?
Yeah,
like that seems like maybe let's start there, and then we'll worry about what happens with the human remains.
Yeah, I feel like I've not heard of. I feel like it has to have happened to someone, right? Someone needs to say, "Oh, I bought a compost thing and there was a human skull in it," and then you do something.
Right. That'd be awesome, though, to find a human skull.
You can't just legislate against your intrusive thoughts.
Yeah. I feel like she should have lied. Why did she tell us that's why she wrote the bill? Like,
right.
you gave us two reasons, and both of them don't make me believe you at
both
all.
Of them don't make yeah. If you are if you are a member of the legislature who actually believes that David Spade fed people human flesh, that is a much bigger problem.
Right. Than the human flesh. Yeah. No, and I actually, because Idaho, for the benefit of listeners who don't own a map, a Western state, and I was, thinking like, okay, was this a problem like in the 1800s when, folks were first coming out to settle? Famously like the Donner Party, which wasn't in Idaho.
Yeah, it wasn't much of a party either. You could look it up. Not fun.
No, do not recommend. But it was a satanic panic.
Donner Party.
It's
Donner. I'm wondering how I spell that. D-O-N-N-E-R.
D-O-N-N-E-R.
Yeah, they ate each other.
It was like
we're gonna go watch the whole thing.
Spoiler. They were like pioneers. So it was pioneer times.
Culinary pioneers, you could say.
They are the soldier boy of cannibalism. Oh.
Man. Dude, if you put that on a t-shirt, I'd wear
it. What? Donner Party? I ate people first. I was the first rapper to eat a real life thing.
I'm sorry. That cannot possibly be true.
No, I know for a fact that one rapper did eat a guy. Eat his roommate, I think, but I forget his name. But he was from Florida, so you know.
All bets are off.
Yeah.
Well, it makes me want to do it now. Not that I will go do it, but the competitive nature in me, now I'm thinking about how I would do it,
no, you actually aren't going to believe it. The first rapper to eat a human being, Lil Romeo.
Lil Romeo? Man, that guy's always the first one to do stuff.
Say.
All the time. We all think
he's so fucking cool, man. I want to be like Lil Romeo.
Trailblazer. Universally respected. Somehow still has snacks in grocery stores, though. Or at like corner stores, I guess. But
does he have some rap snacks? Like the
there's still. I think he still does. The last time I ate rap snacks, I bought the Lil Romeo rap snacks, but that was 10 years ago. So they might be gone
now.
What
flavor? What's the Little Romeo flavor?
I think honey barbecue.
Oh, my corner store has that. I was just looking at it. I didn't I looked at the flavor. I didn't recognize the.
You didn't watch Lil Romeo when you were 28?
Sadly, no. I mean, certainly like in passing, but yeah.
It's a show that I would describe as on.
as a rapper, sometimes it's hard to figure out what your ultimate goal is. Like, do I want to be on Madison Square Garden? Do I want to have the whole world listen to my music? I think rap snacks is a very honorable goal. Yeah, that's a good one. I want to be in convenience stores for kids to wonder why is this person's face on the sour cream and onion chips?
Because it seems
I don't know who the fuck this guy.
The rap snacks, they keep that license. You don't lose that license either. It seems like Lil Romeo, he's still a rap snack.
A rap snack forever. It's
that's a respectable goal. Actually, I can totally get behind that.
All right, now next question is: do we think? And then I do want to let Jason get back to his story because I usually try to treat Jason with a lot more respect than this. Do we think Master P? Does Master P? Do you think he pulls strings to make rap snacks keep Lil Romeo on the bag? Like it can't. They have to want to replace him every year, and Master P has to say something that's like he can't.
Yeah, I think that's one of those unanswerable questions. Well, it's not an unanswerable question. I think what he does, we don't want to know. We don't want to know.
That'd probably make it. That'd probably make a good like HBO series though. Is him acting like behind the scenes with the board to keep the little Romeo snacks on.
I'm imagining Master P in his busy schedule. Like he's like super famous. He's got like 2 weeks of negotiations with the board of like 6-hour days of like guys.
Right.
Like he's just playing episodes of Little Romeo in the back.
Like come on.
Oh my god.
Tells itself.
Guys, I want to give you all this time to think about what Master P does, because we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. And we're going to play a song by the very talented ZenTheRapper on the break.
Yeah.
Zen sent me the song. And Zen, because I definitely have my notes up, what's the name of the song that they're about to hear?
This song that we're going to play is Disorderly.
Cool.
Is the name of the song?
So the reason I picked it is because it shares letters with the title of your podcast, Underworld, Disorderly. So there's letters shared. You see that?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That is very nice.
But this song features my homie. It's kind of like a weird situation. It's kind of like somebody who like has me blocked on a lot of platforms at this point now, but like we're still kind of cool. Like she's kind of going this up right now. My homie Aaron LaPerla from Virginia. Shout out to you if you ever see this. If you ever unblock me. Stop being petty. Like, come on. But she does a great job singing on this. It's a song about confidence and doing your own thing, going your own way.
Totally. And you guys should go your own way too, as long as that way does not involve not listening to this podcast. Keep listening to this show. We will be right back.
Independent racks to riches, riding lemony snickets. Unfortunately, I'm torturing this shit disorderly. They spitting orphanage, these niggas gotta be kidding. I am the oracle, I send them the sentence. Simple souvenirs from my heavenly visits. This ain't rhetorical, I'm godly with the image. Ascend the limits, I finna ollie the chemist. I trip pretenders like I'm partly magician. I paint the pictures with the parliament pencils. I'm in the rental, but I'm hardly dependent. They charge me with sinning, cause I ball with the wizards. Gilbert Arenas, John Wall isn't forgiven. Ayy, I might resort to foraging, scavenge the beat. Watch me travel in the sky through the tough times, DeLorean. Soaring over trolls, avoiding the fees. Got the Romans overthrown until I hunt from the keys. I spit disorderly, tongue run with the fiends. It's junkie season, I think it's time for me to lead them. That shit run in my jeans, I ain't the warden. More life, I'm enforcing freedom. Tour life, more sights, I'm enjoying me. I'm trying to do right, new life, I'm the new guy. Finna get rich like Dubai. They adoring in my reef. I can't afford to reward all these hoes in the streets. My rhymes fly miles, sticking holes on the screen. The pigeon gone in the breeze. I spit disorder for a quarter. Nigga D-Way, I'm the sorcerer. They sorta like the replay, ayy. I'm independent, rise to riches, riding lemony snickets. Unfortunately, I'm torturing this shit disorderly. They spitting orphanage, these niggas gotta be kidding. I am the oracle, I send them the sentence.
I hope you get the message I do. I hope you get the message I do. I hope you get the message I do. I hope you get the message I do.
I'm independent, rags to riches, riding lemony snickets. Unfortunately, I'm torturing this shit disorderly. They spitting orphanage, these niggas gotta be kidding. I am the oracle, I send them the sentence.
I hope you get the message I do. I hope you get the message I do. I do. I hope you get the. I hope you get the. Da 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 da. Da 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 da.
that was some great music that we just heard from our guest, ZenTheRapper. And now we're gonna give Zen some questions. So Zen, what's your fucking deal? Why are you here? What's going on? What's your deal?
Well, there's a blizzard and I'm stuck here. So
that is true.
Filling the hours.
yeah, I'm filling hours. I opened my computer and I was like, I did say I was gonna do this thing, huh? So here I am.
Yeah, I can relate.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. No. I mean, just tell people a bit about yourself and your music, maybe.
Yeah. Right. So I am in Champaign. I'm gonna give you my whole story in like super fast forward, so you keep up.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, please.
So I'm from Kankakee. I moved to Champaign way back in 2015. A young Zen. And I graduated 2019. I studied history at Illinois. Then I traveled to Virginia, Minneapolis, to Virginia. When I was in Virginia, I was like, I'm going to become a rapper. That's how it happens. One day you just wake up and the thought pops in your head and you just kind of just keep going. So I became a rapper out there. And just to be kind of serious for a second, I've been very proud of the way that I've been able to kind of, my friend used to call me like Lewis and Clark, because when I moved out there, I didn't know anybody, but I kind of broke into the scene very well, and I met people who were connected. I was able to get performances in studios and features and like all kind of stuff while I was still learning how to rap. I'm very proud of the way I came back, because it's like it's hard being a rapper in the place you grew up in. I was a student here. I graduated, and then I came back and tried to convince everybody that I'm a rapper now and that they should listen to me. And
Sure.
and so it was kind of like it's kind of an uphill battle. But I'm a lyricist. I'm a poetic rapper. I'm into like accents and unstressed, and I've been looking into pentameter, iambic pentameter, and meter and shit like that.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like a very nerdy, geeky rapper, but like I try to I try to hide that so people think I'm cool. But yeah.
Yeah, no, it's since Andrew told me about you and you being a guest, I've been listening, and no, it is incredible, like amazing. I love everything about it. Like definitely, you've made a place on my routine playlist for whatever that's worth. But no, you're yes, it's great. Like very talented. Yeah.
Hey, can I say that means a lot to me, because I'm a music teacher, right? And so I teach music, and I share my music with my kids, and a lot of times kids are like, "That was awesome, good job." But often kids want to be funny, or they're just kind of mean. So they'll be like, and they'll be like, that's weak,
sure.
I get heckled. I get heckled very often, and I'm laughing in the moment, but the inside I'm like, so it's nice. It's nice to hear someone say like they like my music. I appreciate you, man.
I do. Yeah. No, that's
I mean it's
really good.
It's really good stuff. Yeah, I mean, like I said, you guys, I mean, you just heard one song. He's got a bunch of other songs. We're gonna link to his Spotify in the show notes, so you can check that out.
Absolutely. Definitely recommend it. Yeah.
Yeah, I know Angel Dust is in particular been kind of in more regular rotation for me. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like. Can I ask? So, if you guys have sort of like listened to my music a little bit, I have all these ideas about what I make and what it's supposed to sound like or whatever. But like, how would you describe my music, like in a few words?
Oh man,
I would say kind of psychedelic, jazzy rap with some kind of classic soul elements.
Yeah, I think. Well, as you said, lyrical, like the lyric. Yeah. The lyrics definitely are the highlight. Even though the music, the beats, like it's really good. So yeah, I would say like lyrical and jazzy. There is like a jazzy kind of diverse element to each of your tracks that
Yeah.
No, it's really enjoyable. Yeah, I would encourage anyone to listen.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it has that, because I mean, I think anyone who kind of knows me knows that I tend to dabble in a lot of like vague interest in a lot of different things and like get vaguely obsessed with a lot of different things for a couple weeks at a time. So I've listened to a lot of jazz and a lot of different types of stuff. And I think that what your music, I think why I would call it jazzy is partially some of the beats you choose and stuff like that. But I think partially that it maintains that kind of like doing something that's really hard in a way that seems like it's not hard for you, but I can only imagine that it's extremely difficult for you, right? Like the way, like that sort. I mean, I know like like that effortless appearance, I guess, like is what is a less terrible way to phrase that, but like
no, absolutely, yeah, I would second that. I'd agree with that.
That's a part of the beauty of like classic hip hop, like golden age conscious hip hop. Is like it's like the idea of like this like amazing performance, like this awesome like lyrically packed verse, and it's performed with swagger. It's performed that it looks like it's easy.
Yeah. With
I
totally agree. Yeah.
I used to listen to what was the first Rakim album? I Ain't No Joke. I used to listen to that album a lot back in the day.
Yeah.
And that album is very it has a lot of that. Super cool album. But we're actually, this is not you ask us about your music. This is we ask you about your music because you have called your music mystical boom bap, I think, right? Is that what you said?
Yep.
What is that? What does that mean?
Mystical boom bap. So I like the way you use the word psychedelic when you describe it, because I feel like I'm shifting more towards psychedelia in my music. I have just real quick, I'm gonna go through my project name so you can get a sense of like what so first I dropped the Book of the Dead, and then I dropped Sun God, and then Philosopher's Stone, and then I dropped a project called Soul Dirt, which is supposed to be like soul dirt as in like SOL, the sun, and then dirt. So I'm a lot of when I first started making music, I'm trying to figure out what people could like from me, because when you start rapping, you can rap about anything. And there's listen to the radio, people rap about all types of different things, and you meet rappers, people rap about all different types of things. Mystical boom bap is sort of like I feel like I'm shifting towards that psychedelic, that shiftiness in meaning with my words is something I love about how I write, but it's something that doesn't get centered in the discussions. It's sort of like, it's very vibey. It's very like, it's a good flow. But I think the way that the words that I choose are very dense. They've got several different meanings, and there's always multiple interpretations. So that's the mystical. There's like a surface interpretation. Yeah. And then there's like a beneath the surface. And then, if you really, really kind of like know some things, there's normally something beneath there. And then the boom bap part, boom bap is like, that's the classic, like old school kind of slower, just the measured drum beat, the 4/4 time.
Well, I like,
yeah.
I'm interested in what you talked about a bit with like sort of the frustration of, people, you have a lot of meaning to your lyrics, and people, I think myself included, don't necessarily pick up on them. And I think, at least for me, it sort of seems like the curse of being a good rapper, where like, you're so good that like, when I've listened to Angel Dust a few times, and I'll put it on and be like, all right, I'm going to focus on the lyrics this time. And then like, you're so good at it that I just immediately get into vibe mode. And like, is that like, is it like the curse of being good at it sort of a thing,
Yeah, and it's like you got to find that balance, and that's what I've been working on in my early career, striking that balance. Because I've learned that you can be as lyrical as you want, but the more lyrical you are, the better you have to be at your enunciation and your diction, so that you're hitting the syllables in the right way, that they still fit the flow. Because what happens is people are lyrical, they put these big words in it, and then they compromise the flow, and it just sounds like you're trying to rush it and speed it up. You got to be able to hit the flow with the lyrics. But I want it to be so that people can listen and like the sounds first, because that's what people are generally listening to for music. And then as they listen to it over and over again, they can sort of uncover meanings in the lyrics. Just depending on a day they're listening more closely, or a day where something happened that make their mind go a certain type of way. I want people to be able to have these kind of like eureka moments with themselves, and a lot of times it's not like the lyric means something specific, but it's like it's got this range of meanings. I want people to be able to attach to that range somewhere.
Yeah.
No, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, awesome.
So guys, like we said, ZenTheRapper. Where can people find you? I know we're gonna link to your Spotify.
Everywhere. I love when people ask me this, because I said Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, Pandora, iHeart. So anywhere that music is played, my music is distributed through DistroKid, ZenTheRapper, no spaces, and I'll be there. And I want to make one last note about Mystical Boom Bap.
Totally.
The boom bap part of it, right? So it relates to the boom, the drum break, the boom, right? But it also relates to the way I've been learning that I have sort of like a hopscotch rhyme style that sort of mirrors that boom bap, that which where I rhyme my rhymes are dense, and that's like MF Doom had a high percentage of words within his rap that rhyme. I'm big on, if I write a line, I want the whole next line to rhyme each, like all the way through, and so the effect is like a lot of like the boom bap, boom bap, boom bap. There's always that pair. There's always pairs of rhymes, and I'm not saying it right, but it's like I'm boom bapping my lyricism as well as with the beats.
Yeah. I think I see what you're saying. Yeah. It's very thematically. It's not just that you're using your words like in that rhythm. You're also using the themes of the lyrics as part of the same rhythm, so that the musical journey of the beat and the musical journey of what you're saying are the same.
Yes. So I can be found everywhere, all platforms. But Instagram, my account got hacked 2 years ago, so it's Zen_the_rapper on Instagram. Everything else is just ZenTheRapper, no spaces.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh no, I was going to say that's what makes Andrew like such a great PR man, and that's why
I'm going to Washington right after my steroid Olympic run.
Right,
at the
he's going to sell us on steroid Olympics and bring us bills named like Flamin' Hot Freedom or
Oh, that's a good one. You have to join the team, man.
Flamin' Hot Freedom.
But yeah, I think Andrew, you have something about one of your favorite
that's exactly
topics.
One of my favorite topics, and one that Jason often tries to repress. So just to clarify on careers here, I know every episode is someone's first. Zen is a rapper. He's a guest. You'll probably hear him again sometime in the future here, but not next episode. I'm
Andrew.
Definitely
be listening to his music. Yeah,
you should listen to his music, but don't come to, if you come to Underworld News Tonight for ZenTheRapper, you will be disappointed most episodes. I'm Andrew Michaels. I'm a comedian. Jason, what do you do?
I'm a CIA shill.
Yeah, as a CIA shill, you come on the show to do what? To discredit me when I approach the truth about the various stellar phenomena that are occurring. And this is, but you know what? Believe it or not, Jason, people from all around the country are waking the fuck up. This is reported in the always reliable New York Post by Isabel Keene. That a UFO map, which has been released by the government, reveals extraterrestrial hotspots across the U.S. This was shared by the National UFO Reporting Center. And the UFO hotspot, Lincoln County, Nevada. That is the biggest UFO county in the country. Jason, since this is part of your job, what's in Lincoln County, Nevada, exactly?
A lot of meth. A
lot of desert. A lot of meth, yes. Thank you to our meth dealer listeners.
Sand.
Aliens do love meth.
It's a long haul. It's a long haul.
Yeah.
That's how good it is. Yeah.
That's why they come so often.
That's what I'm saying. They have to, you think about the meth that truckers have to take. Think about the meth that aliens have to take.
Yeah,
right.
They're great
Yeah,
customers.
it's got to be super strong. Yeah.
But on top of, you know what? I think we're going to say now the Underworld News Tonight certified best meth in the country. Can I say that? Support your mom and pop meth dealer.
Sure. Why not?
It's also the home of the top secret, I don't think it's that secret anymore, military base known as Area 51. Of course. The one with the aliens.
Right.
So there have been reports of nearly 113,000 alien sightings between 2000 and 2023. In 2023, the dates with the most sightings.
Okay.
California, number one, had 440 reported sightings. That tracks with it being the most populated state. Florida, third most populated state, second most sightings, 293.
Sure.
Texas, I think, is the second most populated state, and that had 230. Washington, 212. And New York, 156. So, Jason, my question to you is, how can UFOs be fake if I just yelled a bunch of numbers at you?
No, I think you might have me with this one. I guess I'd be curious to know, like, the methodology, like how did they make this map? Like, what constitutes UFO sighting?
What they're calling is that since with a lot of the declassification that's been happening on, well, first off, we keep using the term UFO, let's be correct. UAPs, unidentified anomalous phenomena. UFO is no longer the accurate term. Because ZenTheRapper, if you don't know that if you can't identify it, you don't know that it's flying, right? Because it could be a reflection off of the water. And you don't even really know that it's an object. It could be a trick of the light. So that's why UAP, unidentified anomalous phenomena, is a much better term to use than UFO.
It sounds like a UFO denier made that term. I will say, it sounds like we're trying to hedge towards, like, it's not really there.
No. But once you get a little more crank, Zen, you understand the real threat is USOs, unidentified submersible objects, and that there are possibly human civilizations that have evolved under the sea that would actually have a reason to be aggressive towards us, given the shit that we're doing to them.
Right.
You know? So, I think it's pretty accurate. But people can call these in to the government now and report a sighting. And they'll make a report and list it, and they'll put it in their sightings hotspot, because it is being, there is an acknowledgement at the very least that unidentified anomalous phenomena exist. They're reported by fighter pilots all their time. They've been reported by fighter pilots for decades, and it would be prudent to have a hotspot of where that happens, both to determine cause and potential targets of whatever it is.
Right. And sorry, you said it was compiled by the National UFO Center? What's that?
That
UFO
is
Reporting
the National UFO Reporting Center. Let's go ahead and find out some more about the National UFO Reporting Center. That is a nonprofit organization, and believe me, as someone who used to work in that sector, they don't just let anyone start a 501c3 in this country. You have to be upstanding.
They don't just hand those out.
Yeah, they document UFO sightings and or alleged alien contacts. Founded in 1974 by, this was his name, Robert J. Gribble.
Sure. Yeah.
It's hard out there for a Gribble. Zed, have you ever taught a Gribble?
Gribble? No, but I'm really bad about hearing people's names and not reacting. I'm really bad about that. Like,
as a teacher.
So if a kid was like, "I'm Eugene Gribble,"
I'd be like,
then as a teacher, if a kid came up to you, and their last name was Gribbled, and they said, like, "I'm being bullied because of my last name," do you feel like you'd have to say, "I think you should change it"?
You know what I would do? I would give them sometimes I like to trick children. I would give them a very reassuring tone, but I would say something that would really, because I'm on the other person's side. Yeah, Gribble's horrible. It sucks. So I'm on whoever was saying it's bad. I'm on that person's side. So I'm gonna explain.
And it's not his fault. It's his mom's fault for letting a Gribble hit it raw.
It really is. Yeah. So your mama. That's how I tell them.
That had to be one hell of a Gribble.
Yeah. Stop crying at me and start developing some mommy issues, kid.
Yeah. You should be mad at your mom. Yeah. This kid's gonna be gone next year. Your mom, she did that. That's your whole life, man. Yeah. So you're really gonna be mad.
Yeah, but the National UFO Reporting Center, one of the more active organizations for just listing out UFO sightings, reporting, stuff like that. No, there was also a report in Axios that tied this directly when you look at the county by county, which I've not quite gone into here just because I think it's a bit too in-depth and maybe a bit too boring to fully read in the podcast. But it corresponds to dark sky locations. So I don't know if you guys know a lot about this or how into stargazing you are, but like even here in Champaign where we think, oh, we're kind of in a rural area, we have like level 2 sky. Our sky visibility is shit, right? Like you gotta be really out like...
You gotta like squint. You gotta like...
Yeah. There's one area way out that's like a NASA certified dark sky location, and this is like you could see everything. And you don't realize the difference until you see it, but it's very dramatic.
I've
I think it would absolutely track.
I've been to a couple here out in the West, and it's phenomenal. Like I get overwhelmed, if I'm outside in like one of these dark sky, middle of the desert or like top of a mountain. It's just amazing the number of stars. Like you just cannot imagine the number of stars that you can see in a dark sky location.
For a long time, I wanted to move to New Mexico for this very reason.
Yeah.
This very reason. Yeah, I wanted to see like the sky.
Yeah. No, I totally get it.
There are a lot of other places you could see the sky.
well, in my mind, this is when I was like first started, like not starting to be a rapper, but like as I'm getting into my artistry, I'm like, I'm gonna move to New Mexico. I'm gonna live in an adobe house. I'm gonna go out to the desert every morning and just like say my incantations to the stars, and it's just gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome. But I'm mature now, so now if I go to New Mexico, what I would do is I would start a group that creates UFOs, that creates UFO sightings. Yes, I want to crank these numbers up.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be doing a lot of like flashlights and like kites and shit. And, like,
sure.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
We'll just recklessly fly an unsafe vehicle if we have to.
There we go. Yeah.
You know what, Zen? I'm glad you didn't move to New Mexico though, because I think that I am not really scared of any rapper because, they're theater kids, even if you have the hardcore gimmick or whatever,
Shout out Tupac.
Tupac was great. Tupac was a theater kid, I think Biggie and I would have gotten along great. I feel like we had a similar sense of humor. I would be terrified of any Albuquerque rapper. Just something about like a rapper coming in from Albuquerque.
I think my eyes would turn gray or something if I moved out there. You know what I mean? Like, it'd be something. There would be something different, something like like very creepy. I have a great time. I love it,
Yeah.
Oh man.
No, I think you would. Yeah.
Shout out to our Albuquerque listeners.
Right. And their gray eyes.
Much love. If you're in New Mexico right now, and if you think you saw a UFO, that was probably me. I got some people out there too.
Right.
We coordinate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We coordinate.
Yeah. No, I'm taking a look at the map now, and it looks like Colorado has a pretty good share of sightings.
Yeah. Oh, you're checking in, seeing if any you should turn in any of your neighbors, maybe.
Right. Yeah, I'm looking to see how close they are to the truth.
Yeah, exactly.
Are we thinking these are just? Go ahead.
Oh no, I was going to say there are a couple over the Denver International Airport, like directly over the airport.
Oh well, airports are. O'Hara's had a bunch of UFO sightings as well. Along with O'Hara's actually had one of the more recent Mothman sightings as well. Was also at O'Hare. Like airports are big because air traffic controllers they have to report everything.
Right.
Like, air traffic controllers see everything and say everything. So, like, whether it's because even if it is a fucking comic or meteorological thing, they're like, no, you still have to stay grounded.
Right.
Zen, what were you going to say?
That's a great question. What was any of us ever going to say? You know, it doesn't matter.
That's a good point. It's almost like some of us shouldn't have podcasts where we talk for like 2 hours a week about nothing.
Talking is so overrated. Yeah. Anyway, it's our podcast.
No, this is pretty awesome. Oh yeah, no, compared to when it had me type in my or it asked if it could use my location, so it zoomed in on Colorado. But yes, as you go to as you head towards the east, there is a shit ton of alleged sightings.
Oh yeah,
all up and down the eastern seaboard, and then same thing in on the west coast. So again, it sort of jives with the population.
And of course, every alien in the world wants to see New York City.
Why would
call it the Big Apple because everyone thinks they can take a bite, but I'll tell you something, Zen. Not everyone can handle it.
Right.
Love the Mets.
Yeah.
They're trying to get on Broadway. That's what it is.
Yeah. And Florida has a lot, which again, consistent with the story of the mall. With the
the Bayside Mall story. Check out our I think 2 episodes ago where we talked about that, right?
Yeah.
So check that out. I
guess
this
map is actually kind of cool.
Yeah. One thing that I found really actually heartening, which nobody ever says, they only say disheartening, but I found this re-heartening.
Yeah.
It was heartening, is that the number of sightings went down in 2023, which 2023 really, I think, really brought this UFO cultural moment into the forefront. So I think that what that means is that people are taking it a lot more seriously and being like, no, I should not make this up. I should not go and lie about seeing a UFO.
It's like the boy who cried wolf. And now the aliens are here. And I'd be interested to see, I don't know how meticulous they keep their data or how descriptive they are, but I'd be interested to see transcripts of these calls or what people are actually saying on some of these.
Right.
Because are we seeing? Is this shooting stars?
Me
is
too.
this people who just moved out to the dark sky and they're like, what the fuck is that? It's just they're just seeing the stars.
Right.
You know?
Took shrooms for the first time.
Yeah.
So I mean, you do have some sightings that do end up with transcripts. So you have usually with video too. So on January 4th, 2023, or with January 4th of this year, there was a Texas incident over the small town of Forney at around 9:20 p.m. This is from the article from before, with a glowing object resembling a computer cursor in the sky. The witness, who is an unnamed Texan, can be heard exclaiming, "That is not a motherfucking airplane" in the video. And then the center withholds any information about the people who were reporting to protect their identities and also presumably to stop people from trying to profit. So I mean, it's quite interesting stuff. Definitely check out the map.
Yeah.
I will say I just drew a computer cursor. It's just a UFO. That's all it is. It's a shape of a UFO for somebody who's trying to sound credible. It's a UFO, and then the arrow is just like the jet, right? It's just the propulsion. So they're trying to.
Well, I mean, I think a lot of UFOs don't have UFO sightings. Generally, they don't have propulsion, and that's part of there's no visible source of lift or propulsion on a UFO. That's the flying saucer shape and stuff like that. A lot of them are kind of the same shape though. I'll hear people say a pill shape and a Tic Tac shape are two different types of UFOs, is what some people will say. And I'm like, that's the same fucking shape. I am not that visual.
Yeah, pill
right.
I always assumed the Tic Tac was just a flying saucer from the side.
Yeah, it's like a perspective thing, right? It's just
yeah. I guess not.
Have you ever been inside a UFO?
Have I ever been inside of a UFO? No.
Not to my recollection.
I've seen weird things that I think might have either been ghosts or UFOs when I was a kid. But, I mean, it was sort of like you're looking out your window, you see some light and slice, you don't really know what's going on.
Right. Well, have you ever seen, okay. Tell me about your UFO sighting.
So I was about 7 years old. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. I was a pretty jumpy kid, so for a while I thought I would have described this as I saw a ghost. And now it seems consistent with what people describe with UFOs. But I also am cognizant of the possibility that I was a jumpy kid who was freaking out. And it was I woke up in the middle of the night to pee like I do because I was getting to that age where they stop you from peeing the bed by force, which fucking sucks. I get up.
Big laundry, bro. I swear to God.
Yeah, and I see there's a lot of light outside of my window, and I look out and I see this bright light. and I'm convinced it's going to chase me. So, and this is true. I ran into my parents' room like crying. I was freaking out. I was like, "There's a ghost! There's a ghost! It's going to kill me!" And then I started crying so hard that I fainted, which I would do a lot when I was a little kid. I would often, as a little kid, cry so hard that I faint, which I also do as an adult at work, and it throws your boss off their balance.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So bright light. Did you see anything? Like, were you able to? Was it like light and then you ran, so you didn't really get to see like a shape or anything?
Yeah, I was 7 years old, so this was I really like, because at the time I thought it was a ghost. If I thought it was an alien at that age, I probably would have gone closer to it and gotten like, and that would have not been good. But I thought it was a ghost, which like I was terrified. Jason, what do your handlers at Langley have to say about that?
Yeah, I don't. UFOs were never like, that wasn't something I had a lot of like fear or anxiety about as a kid. Maybe more sort of general like paranormal or just like weird vibes. I felt like are things like I experienced, but I really don't think I've ever seen something that I would call like UFO. Which isn't to like discredit anyone else necessarily, like, again, I just haven't, but.
Well, and of course, Zen, if you want to really blow your mind, there is the theory that UFOs, ghosts, a lot of cryptid sightings, a lot of like weird phenomena are all sort of the same thing, which is that it's not interstellar travel or dead people, but interdimensional spillover or like a glitch in the system, or even active interdimensional travel that you're seeing things that shouldn't be there. And and if you look at Bigfoot sightings and UFO sightings, you'll often see a lot of similarities in witness accounts that don't align with what makes sense for a Bigfoot sighting. So things like, people will report with Bigfoot sightings, there was this strange metallic smell. No ape has a natural metallic smell, right? So like, I do find this very, very, we're getting past my comedy crank persona and into my actual crank mind, but I do find it very compelling.
Well, it's like, I did like when I was in college, kids, I did it. This is only for college. I did a lot of acid and shrooms and things like that.
Yes, and if you've seen ZenTheRapper do music and an open mic, or he's not somebody who would ever be associated with psychedelics now.
No, never.
You wouldn't even think it.
Right. I am anyway, when I did them, there's sort of this thought that I had, like, the interdimensional thing. It's like, are these hallucinations? Are they just are they playing with my brain, or are they giving me like access to different ways of being and knowing? And around the time when I was doing psychedelics was when I saw it. I wasn't high during this time, but I did see a UFO sighting. It was one of the Action Bronson has a bar in a song. He said, "I saw a UFO, but I could be wrong." I said, he repeats, "I saw a UFO, but I could be wrong." It was one of those things where I looked up, and the sky did something very strange. It looked like multiple streaks, which I've seen shooting stars since then, and normally it's just like one at a time. And it seemed like the sky did something very alien-like, or UFO-like. But I was kind of just like, I probably don't really know a lot about space. It's probably just something regular. But I did have that moment where I kind of looked at it and looked around and looked at the camera, like, the imaginary camera, like, you guys see this too, or it's just me? Yeah.
It's freaky stuff, because like, I think as a kid, the idea of an alien didn't freak me out and was like exciting, because you'd be like, E.T. Oh, like those are like people from E.T., right?
Right.
But now as an adult, you think about it and you're like, oh, not every intelligent species is going to be anything like people. So, just because they have interdimensional travel doesn't even mean they're social animals, let alone would give a shit, right? Like, so that sort of thing.
We may not even recognize them as like living beings, right?
Yeah.
Like who knows? And they might not recognize us as living conscious beings.
What if
aliens are just our feelings?
That's deep.
They've been here with us the whole time.
maybe
the real
maybe
alien
the real lesson
was
of
us.
Underworld News tonight has been that the
Plays
best
nice
podcast
music.
is the conversation you can have with your true self
Right.
as you grow as a person.
What's the jingle that goes with this, man? I try to think
Oh,
of it.
the more you know.
Yeah,
Is that what you're talking about?
Goes on, and then we do like
What's
the
shooting. Yeah.
All
And
right,
that's
well,
what you shouldn't play in a refrigerator. The more you know.
all right. I think it can sometimes be fun to play in a refrigerator, but maybe that's a topic for another day. Jason, take us home.
It was a different time. There were different refrigerators. Our last story comes to us from the Tyee, the Tyee, independent journalism out of Canada.
Yeah.
Headline.
All their fucking things are just a little bit incorrect, aren't they?
Yeah. The solved sugar strike has a hero, Striker the Goose. Honk to Support took on a new meeting at the Rogers picket line. This is a story about a Canadian goose dubbed Reginald Striker, who joined labor activists in striking the Rogers Sugar Refinery in Vancouver for 4 months. Striker routinely visited the picket line, walked with the workers. Eventually, of course, they started bringing food for Striker, but originally he showed up, I guess, of his own volition.
This is a wild goose that would just show up
It's a
and
wild
march with
goose,
the workers.
yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
His name was like Doug, or like something less regal. Like Reginald Striker is so like esteemed, like you know.
Right. Do you think he had ID? Like he was like, no,
I'm worried that. Do you think they pulled up the ID and they were like, "All right, what's this duck's name? Adolf." Yeah, no, we're not going to report that.
Yeah. it pans to the camera. No, we can't.
Right.
We can't.
Yeah. No, we're not doing this. Yeah. Visited, marched on the picket line for 4 months. At one point, blocking company trucks from exiting the refinery. Something that would violate the province's labor codes, except the goose, of course, is not subject to the laws of man.
Haha, suck it.
Loophole. There we go.
Yeah. He was the dude of dudes, said Dan Hardy, 22-year employee of the plant, one of Striker's caregivers. The article goes on in sort of shocking detail about the labor relations. I'm not going to read it all, but if that's your thing, you can find it.
Can you give us
posted on our
just a
socials.
brief explainer of Canadian labor law, and the intricacies of how a strike procedure is handled within the Greater Vancouver area?
I cannot.
Okay,
what I can.
That's fair.
What I can
that is
tell
more than
you.
fair.
What I can
We're
tell
not
you
that type of show.
Is that this what I say was Rogers Sugar is a sugar refinery that supplies confectioners and grocery stores throughout British Columbia. They were looking to up production and thus make mandatory weekend shifts, it sounds like, and people people weren't into that. They started striking. Reginald Striker joined them, and eventually 4 months later, labor and management came to an agreement.
We'll just add a little more sawdust to the sugar instead.
Exactly. I think it does say that. Yeah. But Striker, some of the it says won't be walking a picket line anytime soon. Some of the union members noticed he had a little bit of a limp, and his feathers seemed a little disheveled, and like maybe he had an injury. So his feathers weren't like shedding water like I guess a goose should. Which good on these strikers for these sugar plant employees for knowing.
They know a lot about goose health.
Right. I wouldn't know if a goose is shedding water properly.
I didn't know
Anyway,
they had to do that.
Yeah. Anyway, they called Wildlife Services, so the birds getting some medical care. Strikers back to work with a new contract that's more or less in their benefit, and yeah, the sugar flows. No, it's I found it really interesting. I know I've been sort of floating the theory of like this sort of simmering animal uprising lately.
Yeah, it's really
animals
happening.
are like getting into human business, and but here's an example of of wildlife kind of, standing by, showing solidarity with humans. Yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised that it was a goose. If anything, I would think of a goose would be more of a like
geese are really
Pinkerton-style
mean.
strike breaker, as opposed to someone showing like solidarity.
Geese will fuck you up.
Good on them. Yeah, no, awesome.
So reputation.
Yeah.
I've stopped going to stores because there are geese that like flock outside, and I get scared.
Yeah. There
out
was
of my neighborhood.
There was a park when I was a kid that my parents insisted on taking us to, because the geese would consistently attack me, and they thought it was the funniest thing. And they
So wait,
would go to a different park.
Sound like some cool parents.
That's what, I don't have any kids. Is that what you're supposed to do?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
good to know.
Yeah, generally speaking, as a parent, I think if wildlife poses a threat of potential harm to your child, you just sort of continuously expose them to it.
Exactly.
I guess on the grounds that it makes them stronger, or can be a bit on a future podcast. I don't know.
I think I always love when animals try to foray into human business, and I'm glad you said it's happening more.
Yeah.
It seems like a brave soul, like because like humans are very interesting. Imagine if you were an animal and you just totally ignored people your whole life and never tried to be like, hey, what do you guys do? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Well, we kind of do that with a lot of we don't know how accurate B-movie actually is culturally.
That's true.
I took it for gospel because I just didn't know anything else.
Right.
So I think you're right. You're right. And Pixar gives me all my animal knowledge in Disney.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it is interesting. Like some animals you can kind of see like there is kind of a history of dogs being involved in like protests and riots, like on the side of the protesters. I think because they have kind of an innate sense of who the aggressor is. Right? So if people are protesting and the cops are, coming at them, as they want to do, like the dogs instinctively know, like, no, I gotta, protect the
stick up. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, it's interesting, but like a goose, I have no idea what, and I guess just like the mass of people hanging out, probably the fact it was a sugar factory didn't hurt, right? Like,
I think that's probably the main thing. Actually, now that I think about it, it's got to be mostly the sugar factory thing.
They keep denying this goose access, and he's just getting frustrated. He's like, the walk is like literally push, walk, push, like trying to get in the factory.
Come on.
Anyway, with us hoping for a future. With us hoping for a future Easy News Week, let's hope for a protest at a sausage factory next.
Yeah.
Man, these dogs are really protesting. They ate all the company's supply.
Wow.
They're so ideologically consistent.
Right.
Man, this dog is protesting IKEA so much it shat on all the beds.
So courageous.
Right.
Anyway, thank you guys so much for listening.
Yeah.
If you enjoyed this show, make sure to follow us wherever you get your shows. We are wherever you're listening to this right now, plus the other places, plus YouTube. So you can check us out wherever. Underworld News Tonight. You could follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Underworld News Tonight as well, and also on TikTok. Jason, do you have an Instagram?
I do. It's Jason V. Strong.
Yeah, we can find his pictures, his little
Stuff.
drawings there. You got really cool pictures. He drew our logo, so he's quite good at it. And I also have an Instagram, Andrew Michaels95. Find my stand-up clips there, unless they suck or there aren't enough people in the audience. Then I don't.
They
post
don't
them.
suck.
Zen,
They don't suck. They're good.
do you have an Instagram that you already told people about that we should remind them about?
So I'm distracted. I'm looking at Jason's Instagram. It's just much cooler than mine. It's like drawings and art everywhere. I do have an Instagram, Zen_the_rapper. Which my Instagram, this is why you should follow my Instagram. I think it's cool for a lot of reasons. But I think other people think it's cool because I share a word of the day every morning. So every morning, I share a word of the day. It's a random word. And so you can kind of like, you have a reason to like dislike someone first thing in the morning every day, because no one likes being taught new words. No one likes being told like the definition of a word. It's very pedantic. It's very like, hey guys, what was that word today? It's very like I find it joyful. But I just imagine people listen like, it's this fucking asshole. So every morning, my word of the day, Zen_the_rapper.
No, it sounds cool. Yeah. Yeah, and again,
Anyway.
check out his music, ZenTheRapper, on pretty much every
Spotify,
every
Apple
music platform,
YouTube,
Radio
Yeah.
Public,
everything.
whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I actually don't know about Radio Public. I think that just shut down. But
Rapper.com.
yeah, I didn't know that was a website, but you can find him there.
I find my music on obscure sites sometimes.
Yeah.
Both concerning and exciting. It's like,
I was gonna say.
Well,
like
and you can
freakmixtapes.com. Okay,
Right.
I didn't put it there.
No, and thank you so much for taking the time to be with us. It was
we
a lot
really
of fun.
appreciate it.
Enjoyed your company. Yeah.
Thank
and
you
know what, guys?
Anytime.
And you know what, guys, meaning our audience now. I know what you guys are thinking. I can't believe I have to wait however many fucking years until this shit is legal to see Andrew Michaels, Jason Strong, ZenTheRapper compete at the enhanced games. Andrew's going to kill it in the swimming. Jason's going to kill it in the lifting. Zen's going to sign Andrew up for combat sports without him knowing. It'll be a blast. It's going to be a long wait, guys, but you don't have to worry about it. Just live in the moment, because like we've said many, many times before, it is all phantom time. But right now...